tap. It's the Diablos coming in at 4-0, going up against the Redskins, who come in at 2-3. So with kickoff straight ahead,
but the masses have turned out here for some NFL football as we come to you from the metropolis known as Mexico City. Coming up, another edition of the NFL International Series, and it should be a good one between the Washington Redskins and the Mexico City Diablos. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Mexico City team as they interplay.
But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Redskins, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
On the return, here's a speedy Jamison Crowder, and he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by a guy who's moved around a bit in his career already. Out of the University of Texas, it's Colt McCoy.
This kid is Texas tough. It's hard to believe he was actually born in New Mexico, just over the line from Texas. But before he was born, his father, also a high school football coach, said, my boy's going to be born over Texas soil. Drove across the border, across the line, got the soil and brought it back. And in the hospital where he was born, underneath, he made sure the Texas soil was there. My boy is going to be born over Texas soil.
Wow. Second down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13. On play action, they'll throw. Backing up. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time. And it'll bring up 3rd down. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the 2nd down incompletion. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now McCoy. He's got time in the pocket. Looking deep downfield. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
After watching that play and result, I go back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator, Brandon, before the game and said, how are you going to move the ball running it against the #1 defense? He gave us no indication, didn't tip his hand at all, so we have to see how this unfolds as this game moves along.
Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Here's McCoy. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Following the interception here, Rivers. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended target, and now it's 2nd down. So they just got
pure relief. Give it up. But it's not the coach you're worried about yelling at you. It's those guys on defense who just intercepted the pass who want to break over there. Hey, take care of the football, man. We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. On 4th down, they snap it to Rivers. And Allen's got it. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to. Rivers now, the throw on 1st down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he eventually goes down, but not before reaching the 30-yard line.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a 1st down.
He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
And when you have a guy in the backfield who can catch the football, you don't just use him strictly for checkdowns or dump-offs. You make him part of the primary passing attack, because what you're trying to do is get him into open field and then let him make people miss and advance the football.
And that is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Jay Ajayi there out of the backfield, and it's 3rd and 4.
One of the best routes, one of the favorite routes of any play caller. He just ran that one. Nice little angle route. That's supposed to be a catch, and usually it is, and the running back dropped it.
Yeah, I mean, he's a running back, but he's got hands. He should have caught it. Again, it's Rivers. Dumps off to Powell. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Mexico City football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Now it's Ajayi. Stiff-armed it. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Really tough drive, but that run helped salvage something there, because now there's something positive that came out of it. They got to see good blocking, good push by the offensive line, wide receivers trying to get involved, a good run by the back, and now maybe it'll be a catalyst for them to look at going forward, watching it on tape. Maybe they can keep incorporating that type of a run into their offense.
They give them 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal. Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary.
And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Jay Ajayi, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And his guys are able to strike for 6. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Caleb Sturgis now for the point after. It's up and good, and it'll give his guys a 7-0 lead. Now after the touchdown, it's Sturgis to send it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. It looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
Type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Again, they run with Sims. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you got going on. The only concern you have, to get to that.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It'll be a loss of 5 there as the safety blitz winds up paying off.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
So on 4th down, the Redskins will call on Tress Way to punt it away. Back deep, Travis Benjamin. Returning, it's Benjamin. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. The Redskins now, their defense coming back onto the field. See if they can regroup a little bit. They gave up the touchdown last drive.
And you know, from our meetings with coaches all across the league, one of their pet peeves, when teams get down, a lot of these guys now, they want to treat it like it's a video game or something. Hit reset. Let's start over, coach. Out of the first 2 series, they don't even matter now. Let's play again. That's not how it works. You're down. You gave up a touchdown. You can't do it again. You have to dig in, grit it out, and fight it out. Reset buttons. It's driving everybody crazy. There are no reset buttons when you're playing in this game.
Preach, Chucky. Preach.
And that's why defensive coaches preach swarming to the football. It's usually going to take more than one guy to get that big man down.
And it did right there. Multiple broken tackles, but they eventually get him down. Rivers on 1st down. Drops it off to Ajayi. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Now that was a terrific play. We're down here near the goal line, and only one word comes to mind for me, and that's overwhelmed, because they absolutely overwhelmed the offensive line. He came free and made the hit in the backfield.
A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Larry Ridley will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. Jay Ajayi, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. And it's good to make it 14-0. Just a 4-play drive that time. Now after the touchdown, it's Sturgis to send it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. Surveying the field, and he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's third.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Now Benjamin. No, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
They dump off underneath to Ajayi. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. On 1st and 10, Rivers. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Rivers again. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
Rivers. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Jay Ajayi on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Now Sturgis on to add the extra point. And it is now 21-0. That time a 6-play drive. Now after the touchdown, it's Sturgis to send it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you up to Orlando, and with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Larry Ridley.
So let's take a look at the highlights from the first half. Redskins opening drive. The pass ends up being picked off. Diablos will come away with the football. Now following the interception, Ajayi is going to stay up the middle, and he capped off the long drive with the TD, giving them an early lead. Diablos on offense midway through the second. Completion is made across the middle of the field, and this 4-play drive goes for a touchdown. That puts them up by 2 touchdowns. Now 1st and 10, Parker is able to make the catch in traffic, and he'll end up picking up 33 yards on the play. Sticking with the same drive. Tight coverage here, but the completion is made, and it leads to a touchdown, which takes the lead to 21. So that'll do it for us. We'll go back down to Mexico City for the second half.
Okay, Larry, a fairly one-sided first half as we get set to go in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. A first down throw here for Rivers. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker. You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
Brandon, more and more offenses are going to the philosophy of using every inch of the field to try and spread things out. And when you're running back and catch the ball as well, that can only help your offense.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They come out here in the eye. Now a run. This is Bilal Powell. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Well, that's the desired outcome coming out here in the second half, of being able to run the football and establish a little bit of pace and maybe even a bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage. And they want that to continue. Way too early to think about this being ball control time. But the way they're running it, you got to think they may want to continue that and see if they can go ahead and grind their opponents into submission.
And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long, with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
Throwing again, Rivers on 2nd and 10. And that one is incomplete. He just dropped it. But they're up big on the scoreboard, so maybe he can chuckle about later.
And there's a good opportunity that just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
3rd down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Now Rivers. It's complete to Parker, left side. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. Rivers to throw for it on 4th. And it is incomplete. Mike McCoy rolls the dice, but it doesn't work out. And the Redskins defense going to take over on the turnover on downs. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Now McCoy. Right side caught by Jackson. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. Let's see what the defense dials up here. 3rd and 4. Here's McCoy. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Here's Tressway now, standing just about on his own goal line.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
This is taken at the 18.
Whoosh.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. One receiver left, that's Allen. They go play action here on 1st down. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. Devontae Parker was the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall. Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting them to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the 1st down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They come out here in the eye. On 4th down, they snap it to Rivers. Finding time. And this is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Redskins will take control of the football in great field position. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? Hey, you want to go for it here? We shut you down? They're over on the bench right now feeling great. Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into them.
They'll come out in the pistol. Back to throw now on 1st down. Out to the left here to Reed. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, You light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
He'll look to throw. He's got time. Great protection. Looking for his tight end read, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. Takes this to the 27, give him 4 yards. Trent Murphy, the one to bring him down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
On 3rd and 1, here's Rivers. He finds Coleman. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback playing in that spot.
You know, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
Second down, Rivers. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead. Confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. Because strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Working out of the gun, Rivers. It's complete to Parker, left side. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he's got Bennett. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. 26 yards on the play there. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front. But somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
And he will take it in for the touchdown. Jay Ajayi, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Point after now from Sturgis. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Now after the touchdown, it's Sturgis to send it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. They'll run it now out of the gun, and he is going to lose yardage here. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
3rd and 11, 5 in the secondary now.
Nickel look. Now McCoy. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. That's pulled in at the 32. A good return there, 17 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And here now the offense heading back out there. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
Well, after what we just saw, we know that with 3rd down coming up, this is not a gimme for the offense. They've got to figure out what they want to do. Do they challenge their offensive line and try and run it? Or do they go ahead and concede that this is a tough defense and put it in the air?
This is Ajayi. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, a little insult to injury here late in the game. On the left hash, officially, it's called a 51-yard attempt. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these 2 teams meet. But until then, this game's over. The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
A real opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column, too.
So for the home team here, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And now it's off to the airport for a date with Customs and a long flight north to the U.S. Meanwhile, for the Redskins, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they will be at home next week to take on the New York Giants. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say adios from Mexico City.